Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Supercast. With me today is Jackie Ray Newman Jones. You may also know her as Debbie from the legendary bad movie Manos, Hands of Fate. How are you doing today, Jackie?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So, there have been a lot of interesting things going on with the Manos universe.
Yes, a lot. Um, well, first things first is my book, Growing Up with Manos, The Hands of Fate. It's in the final stages. We just got the proof from the publisher last week. We're just going through it, my co-author and I, with the final tiny edits, and that's going back to them today. So I expect to be able to announce a firm release date for my book like very soon. And then the other thing is our Kickstarter for Manos Returns. Pretty much as soon as I completed my book, I got involved in this project, and it's amazing. We're doing a sequel to Manos, and we've got my dad, the master,
Mm-hmm.
in a role that we've already filmed, actually, because we did a fundraiser to raise some money in t-shirt sales so that we could pay him and get his scene done. And that was critical in deciding whether to do this movie at all, really. That was really critical. He had to be part of it. So we got that done. And then we launched our Kickstarter last Saturday. So that's what today's the ninth day or eighth day.
Yeah, I think today is the, hold on, let me check my calendar. I think today's the ninth, I believe?
It might be the ninth day since, yeah.
No, today's
And,
actually the 8th.
hmm,
Today's actually the 8th.
the eighth day since we started our Kickstarter. And as of last night, we're over 60% funded.
That's
So,
fantastic.
you know, but that's our base goal. For $24,000, we can make a movie. We have an amazing, talented team of people. And, but if we go up from there, then we have better production
Mm-hmm.
values. We can do more things. Like, we'd love to have Diane Marie, who played my mother in the original, but we need to be able to pay her, and we need to be able to cover all her expenses to get her to our location. And so there's a number of things like that, but we can still make a really good movie for 24,000, something we can be proud of.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And we have some great perks. Rachel Jackson, who created Hands of Felt, is actually the person who is running our Kickstarter. And the rest of us, Tanya Atomic, our director, and Rachel and I have worked very closely on this Kickstarter. And Joe Sherlock, who's our director of photography, has been doing all the graphics. And Steve Foley, our writer and editor, has been editing and creating these wonderful little videos that we've been putting out all along to promote it. And the video on our Kickstarter, he put together, with our help, of course. I'm in it. And if you watch it till the end, you'll see a nice little surprise. You'll get to
Interesting.
see the master today at 80 years old. But you got to watch it to the end.
Okay,
And that's
so
on
take note,
Kickstarter.
everyone. Watch it to
On
the
its
end so you can see how the master looks now.
right. You'll get to see him. Manos returns the Kickstarter, so check it out and support us. We're really excited, and this is so important to me personally to complete this project and have my dad and other people that have been involved in Manos get to be part of something, because Manos it's grown so much in fandom since Mystery Science Theater put it on air in 1993, and we've all really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it very much, but I'm in it for the fun. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not making money doing what I do. Nobody's paying me, and that's not my goal either. But it's more about just getting some recognition. And my dad's been enjoying it through me vicariously all these years, and I just love for him to get some of that feeling directly.
So I have to ask you some of the questions that I've heard from various sources, and one of the sources has actually been one of the supporters from for Manos,
Uh-huh.
Joel from MST3K.
Uh-huh.
Well, is the movie bad intentionally? Is that the purpose for
No,
this sequel?
I saw that little clip, but Joel and I mean, we've talked on other subjects, but I mean, he wrote the foreword to my book,
Mm-hmm.
and we've become friends since then. I consider him my mentor, and I try very hard not to bother him too much because he's a very, very busy man, especially now
Oh yeah.
with bringing back his show. And so when he was asked that question, and I think it was at Comic Con, he and I had never spoken about it, so he didn't know anything about what our intentions were in the movie. But we are absolutely not doing a bad movie intentionally or for any other reason. We have an amazing, talented group. Tanya Atomic has won awards for some of her films. She's from Seattle. And Joe Sherlock of Skullface Astronaut has done over 30 low budget films, and they're very, very entertaining. And he's he was written up by Joe Bob Briggs as I'm paraphrasing, but he's making movies the drive-in way,
Mm-hmm.
and he meant it as a high compliment. And these people, and Steve Foley was in network TV doing editing and writing for over 20 years. So we have an amazing group of people that have been making successful films with low and no budget. So I'm so excited to see what they can do with an actual budget.
Oh yeah. Well, this is good. I it was very interesting in the
And
possi
we're
in
not
the
doing a remake in any way. We're not following the original stylistically. We're not following the original in the script. This is like 50 years later continuation. I'm
yes.
in it. I play Debbie. I play I was the little girl 50 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
but believe me, a lot changes in 50
Oh
years.
yeah.
And not only am I older, but my character, as you can imagine, hanging out with those people for that long, she might be a little pissy. She might be a little angry.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to enjoy the role very much because that's not a part of me that I carry around in the world, but it'll be fun to dig it out and play with it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, my kids have seen that part of me, so I'll just channel that.
Well, that makes perfect sense. You know, like the kids see everything.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They know. My kids. I mean, they're older now. My older son's 26 and a daddy of his own. On his own. But boy, they sure know how to. I've never seen people know how to diffuse another person. They're just so good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Like as kids, I would escalate, and they would just somehow do or say something, and it would just diffuse me, and then they'd walk away, and I'd stand there stunned and bewildered, going, "What just happened? How did they do that?"
Oh yeah. Well, this is good. I think from this interview, people will get an idea that no, this is not an attempt to make a bad movie, intentional
Right.
or unintentional. This is legitimately 50 years later. Let's see how every character that's still alive has progressed.
Yeah, and we're just, this is for the love of Manos. It's for the fans. We're making a fan film. We're making something. It's very tongue in cheek. Um, it's it's a little bit slapstick in there. It's
Oh,
it's
really?
silly. There's a little bit of horror, but it's for the fans, and really, it's for the original people that were involved, whether alive or not, and their families.
Mm-hmm.
We really consider this an homage, an honoring to Manos and to what it means to people.
Well, I think I have something to say about that. I always wondered why you haven't called me up to reprise Torgo, because I think my voice could capture what the essence of the Mystery Science Theater Torgo is all about.
Well, based on that, I'll tell you, in the perks, we have our top levels is our extras, parts for extras. And it also includes a party with me and the director and some other key people, and then a whole bunch of the lesser perks that go in with that, and then the so that's as an extra. But the top level is a walk-on part that includes a line or lines, and we promise people that we will find the part that makes them happy. We have a lot of opportunities for a lot of fun things, and we just want to make sure that everybody involved is just enjoying themselves to the fullest.
That's the right aspect when you do something of this nature,
Oh yeah, we all of us come from that position, and although this is my first time working with some of the people in our production group, they've worked with each other, and the synergy in this is absolutely amazing. I've got a lot of nervous energy, but it's not because I don't have supreme confidence in what we're doing, and it's because I've never done anything that's quite so important to me. It means a lot, because of my dad. Again, back to my dad. It means a lot. He's 80. I have so much motivation to get this done, to have a product that he can see and enjoy. And he's already told me how proud he is of me, but I want him to see it.
Well, that's good.
Himself. Yeah.
That's the right aspect to have when you're doing something of this nature. Because, people have to understand. Like, they look at, I don't know, do you even have an IMDb? Is there even one for you?
I do, but I've just been so stubbornly refusing to pay for it, so they won't let me do much.
Because let's see here, you were in Manos.
Yeah.
Then you were in that one that's possibly worse than Manos, the Bigfoot one.
Oh, it is worse. The Curse of Bigfoot. Well, here's an interesting thing: is I'm working with some people now from Los Angeles that are doing a Bigfoot movie, and they'll be traveling up to Oregon and be doing one scene actually on my property, and so I'm coordinating this for them, but I hope to be in it, at least as an extra.
Yeah.
I think I can swing that.
That would be pretty neat.
In fact, I know I can. I mean, he needs extras, so I'm picking myself.
Well, if I can make my way to Oregon, that would be pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, that'll be the first week of March, actually.
Wow. But, I couldn't. My sister's birthday.
What's that?
I couldn't. My sister's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Can't do it. My sister would get mad. What are you doing going to Oregon when it's my birthday?
And this is going to be a really good movie. If you look up this guy, Patrick Magee, Magee, he did all the animatronics and the masks, makeup effects, special effects for. He did Men in Black. He did The Grinch. I mean, if you look him up, he's done a lot of horror movies, really cool stuff. So, alien movies. I'm very excited to help him out on his project.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Any little way, it's just fun.
Well, do you guys need a photographer? Because I can do that. I can be like your photographer for the production. It's what I do all the time.
We are set. We've got, because of where we're filming, we've got backup and backup. In fact, we are working on, our highest stretch goal is to do a documentary.
Nice.
And so we're a mini documentary, and so we are, we're recording and following everything that we're doing along the way. And we hope to be able to put that all together at
Mm-hmm.
the end. But thank you for your offer.
Yeah, no problem.
We're getting some very interesting offers too, and there's somebody on Twitter who has played a dead guy in films, and he's working to find a way to be in our movie. So I don't know if we need a dead guy, but he could maybe be passed out. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
that's interesting.
let me ask you this. What advice would you give towards someone who's trying something new, who's in your shoes right now, trying something, that you haven't tried in a long time, and it's like, it's kind of nerve-wracking, it's kind of different, but it feels similar because you've done it before. What would you say to that person?
The main thing I'd say is don't give up. I mean, I'm 56 years old, and I've been reinventing the wheel for myself, being a creative person since I was in high school. I refused to. I mean, not that I could afford it, but I didn't want to go to art school because I didn't want somebody telling me how things should be done. When I got into faux finish career, I I bought a couple books and bought some poster board and paint, figured it out myself. And then I had a 25-year career doing this. And as I went along the way, I learned that my way was actually the way the professionals were teaching it in expensive courses. So that was cool.
Mm.
But then I've had a whole lot of misses along the way and things that I knew were great ideas, but the timing was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And timing truly is everything. So you can't beat yourself up when things don't work out right away. I mean, honestly, I've always said that one of my greatest strengths is the ability just to get back up and just dust myself off. And sometimes I do it with I'm so cynical or I'm so discouraged. But the truth is, I say to myself, I don't have a choice because that's just who I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather eat peanut butter sandwiches my whole life than go to work in an office every day. But that's just me. And I'd rather get to the end of my life and say, well, at least I tried.
Yep.
I don't want to go through my life having questions. I've done a lot of really stupid things. And I've done some things that should have worked and didn't. And, you just can't give up.
Yeah, I feel the same way. If there's something that you're passionate about, you try as hard as you can, and if it never works out, you can't say that you didn't try.
That's right. And you got to take care of yourself in the meantime. I mean, people sometimes give up everything to follow a dream. And
Yeah.
I've done a lot of that too. And it was a struggle. I raised my kids as a single mother and as an artist, a self employed artist. And I can't even tell you how sometimes we survived. There was a few years when the market failed and my faux finish career it just ended instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a mortgage and I had kids and I had an ex-husband that was paying child support and we were completely on our own. And at that time too, and this is stuff that I haven't got into too much, but this whole Manos thing has opened up relationship with my dad because I was literally, and not because of lack of love between he and I, but I was kicked out of that family for 12 years. I wasn't allowed contact with my father until this Manos thing started getting big and opportunities came up. And for some strange reason, that was the one thing that we were allowed to come together and do together. And so I started creating more Manos opportunities so I could see my father. Honestly,
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's how it happened. And through that, healing in the whole family happened. And now, we got a ways to go, but we're all communicating now. And that came about like very, very recently. And I have to say, too, that came about because of health issues of my father and
Mm-hmm.
more need for help, which again makes this a very critical thing to have happen for me personally. And I think for the fans, too, is, if you want to support the master, I mean, he's 80 and
Yeah.
he's in health. And this is just, I'm just going to say this. Sorry, a little emotional. My dad's in the hospital right now. And as soon as I get off this call with you, I'll be able to find out what's going on because he went by ambulance last night.
Oh,
So
jeez.
I'm not sure what's going on.
Well, let's hope for the best. We'll
Yeah,
keep our fingers
prayers.
crossed. We'll pray and all that good stuff.
Yeah, but I'll know soon, and yeah.
Well, I think on that note, I can't forget that I always ask this of everyone who's on my podcast, a website that you would like to give props to before we get going.
ManosReturns.com. That's for the Kickstarter and for the movie. And Debbie'sManos.com. That's my website that leads you to all the things that I'm doing. I have some updating to do, but it talks about the book, and I'll keep updated on all that too. And it connects to my blog, and that's on Blogspot. That's Debbie's Manos. So really, everything is Debbie's Manos. Facebook, everything.
And on that note, we're going to bring an end to this extra long edition of El Supercast. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.